Hello! Welcome to episode 9 of The Trans-Canadian. I'm your host, Diane. A few days before I shot this video, a group of British tourists, accidentally they claimed, crossed from Canada into the United States. They were detained by American officials and then deported back to the United Kingdom. As a public service to ensure that this ordeal never happens to you, I'm going to give you some pointers on how to tell if you're in Canada or the United States. Here's one way. If you don't know where you are, stop a stranger on the street and ask them to spell zero. If you hear Z-E-R-O, you are in the United States. If you hear Z-E-R-O, you are in Canada. If the stranger tasers you, you are in the United States, specifically Dallas. If the stranger shoots you, you are a black person and the stranger was a Dallas police officer. Another way is to ask somebody the time. After they tell you, say thank you. If you are in Canada, you will hear, "You're welcome." If you are in the United States, you will hear, "Uh-huh." And if you hear, "No worries, mate," you're in Australia and you need more help than I could possibly provide. If you're driving in a country and you don't know where you are, if you see a sign that says, "No through traffic," you are in the United States. If it says, "No through traffic," you are in Canada. And if the sign says, "Circulation locale seulement," you are in Quebec, which is almost like being in Canada. If you're at a restaurant eating French fries and you ask for vinegar, and the server brings you the vinegar without any comment, you are in Canada. If the server stares at you and asks just what exactly it is you wish to clean, you are in the United States. If the server scoffs at you and brings you mayonnaise instead, you are in a snooty French restaurant in Montreal or Quebec City. If you offer a stranger a 12-pack of beer and the stranger goes, "Well, gee, that's mighty swell of you," you're in the United States. You're also in the 1950s. If the stranger goes, "Oh, that's great, eh? We're gonna have some brewskis later, eh?" you're in Canada, specifically on SCTV. If the stranger goes, "Lord, hungry Jesus, me son, that's fucking awesome," you're in Newfoundland, which again is almost like being in Canada. If you hear the word pronounced Wisconsin, where the second syllable rhymes with fan, you are in the United States. If it's pronounced Wisconsin, and you think it rhymes with fan, you're in Canada and you have no clue how to pronounce fan. If you are in a country where even the most progressive left-wing politicians know that proposing universal health care would be political suicide, you are in the United States. If you are in a country where even the most right-wing politicians know that trying to get rid of universal health care would be political suicide, you are in Canada. If you're sick, you'd better hope you're in Canada. If people outside put on a sweater when the temperature reaches 25 degrees Celsius, you are in Arizona. If they put on a sweater at 15 degrees Celsius, you are in New York. 10 degrees Celsius, you're in Canada, in Ontario. At 0 Celsius, you're in Labrador. And at minus 10 Celsius, you're back in the United States, in Alaska. And finally, if you are in a public washroom, you are in Canada. If you are in a public bathroom or restroom, you are in the United States. If you are in a public toilet, you're in the UK. If you're in the loo, the crapper, the smallest room, the gents, the ladies, the lavatory, the lav, or a WC, you're also in the United Kingdom. If you wonder who the hell bathes or rests in a public washroom, or why the British need so many words for it, you're me.